Okay, so our new backstory lore for Mufasa the Lion King is that Mufasa is the Lion King, or like the better lion among the other Lion Kings, because he was mainly raised by female lions, so he is good at hunting instead of only being good at napping like the other male lions, because that's how people generally think that wild lions work. And the bad guys are Germanic accented white lions who want to wipe out all of the African lions. Subtle. You know, Disney, if you put as much work into supporting marginalized people, or even just your actual creators, as you did into deliberately pissing off morons, not that that's not appreciated and funny, it is funny, but if you did actual good things instead of, you know, just performative, you could actually do good things. And some of your movies would be better too. Yeah, so anyway, this is just okay. I don't hate all of the Disney live-action remakes. I didn't hate the Lion King remake. I think this one is a little better than the remake, because at least this one is sort of an original story, when it's not just doing, oh, so that's where that comes from, oh, so that's where that comes from, oh, so that's why that's called that, and that's where that comes... Stuff that nobody really asked about. Like, this one has an origin for why Pride Rock is shaped like that, and I don't know that anyone was asking for the origin of a rock. Seriously? But like, when it's not doing that, and when it's just doing, hey, let's just tell a story about lions with just pieces of Lion King mythos to justify the tie-in, it's actually not so bad. I'm not really someone who approaches any sort of story like this of the who asked for this mentality, because if you only ever make what people ask for, you're not going to make anything new. And this isn't necessarily new, but there's some new enough stuff. The landscape and scenery are attractive enough. The music is kind of forgettable. That seems like something that you should really knock out when you're making a Lion King movie, given that legacy. So this isn't great, but it's decent. Anyway, other than providing a profoundly tacked on after the fact origin for why Mufasa and Scar don't like each other, it literally more or less comes down to there was a girl. Like, you think I'm exaggerating, but that's basically what they come up with. I am kind of impressed that they went otherwise an elaborate enough new story, like a JRPG Final Fantasy quest, but with lions and a monkey healer. It's a quest thing, and Rafiki is the mage, basically, the mage healer, where they're trekking from one place to another. So like, Mufasa is the tough guy, Scar is the slightly less tough guy. His name is not Scar yet. They give us an eventual explanation for why he's called Scar. It's very dumb. Sarabi, the lion queen, is, I guess she'd be like the fighter, the other fighter. And Zazu was also there. And they quest as like a party to go from one place to another, going to like the land of plenty. And a lot of this is very much like a lot of these other live action movies. In lieu of plot, is premised on answering stuff that only YouTube video essayists ever gave a shit about. In terms of, male lions hunt in these movies. Male lions don't really do a lot of their own hunting in real life. How come all of these other animals that are not all from that one same general part of Africa, or what looks like one part of Africa, follow a Lion King instead of being afraid of them, and they're all grouped together in this one place? Why are the Pride Lands the Pride Lands? Whereabouts is the... All of this stuff that you don't really ask about in that original Lion King movie, because, you know, the lions also talk in that. So once the lions are talking and singing, I'm not really asking about the other stuff that animals don't do in real life in that movie, because it's a fucking cartoon musical. But, you know, it's the kind of thing that, like, fans joke about, and then other people take too seriously, and then they decide, oh, hey, that answering that should be the plot of these movies. No, it shouldn't. Stop doing that. Stop it. I didn't need most of the live-action Beauty and the Beast movie to be about actually trying to parse out why this isn't actually Stockholm Syndrome. I don't need this to mostly be about explaining how the Pride Lands work and where the Scar comes from and why Mufasa is good at hunting. The lion is already talking and singing. I don't need that stuff to make sense. It's fiction. Just come up with interesting stuff for them to do, or have them be cool and fight. Alright? Or sing or whatever else. Stop trying to make the talking lion movie make sense. The lion already talks. It's not going to make sense. Give it a good song to sing. Put more effort into that. Spend the money so that it doesn't have, weak songs like Moana 2 did. Priorities, Mr. Iger. Priorities. Come on. But yeah, when it's doing this, weird lion monkey RPG quest, it's actually pretty okay. They're going up mountains, they're crossing rivers. I like that they basically landed on the dynamic here of what's going on with Mufasa and Scar, which isn't as much of the movie as you'd think it would be. You'd think that this would be mostly about the two brothers starting out being on the same team and then not being on the same team. You'd think that that would be the main background of the movie. Not as much. What they basically come up with is that Mufasa, he's an orphan. He gets separated from his family. He's trying to get back to them over the course of the movie. Takes a good long time. He gets adopted by another lion pride. That is where Scar comes from. He's the one who's destined to be the king of that pride. There's this evil pride of white lions who are trying to wipe out all of the other African lions. Scar is destined to be king, but he kind of sucks at being king. He doesn't have king skills. He's a bit of a coward. He's kind of a wuss. He's not a bad guy yet. He gets there very suddenly in Act 3, just because he sort of has to for the plot. Mufasa is not allowed to join the other male lions in there because he's an outsider, so they make him be raised by the female lions who teach him how to hunt. So he is as strong as a male lion, but he can also hunt, which other male lions suck at because male lions just nap all the time. So that's why Mufasa is the best lion ever. That's our new backstory, which is, points for weird creativity, I guess. And then the two brothers eventually have a falling out because Scar likes the girl lion, and Mufasa, and again, this is not an uninteresting idea for this, spends most of the movie trying to build his brother up for the girl lion, and she's just not having it. And it's a fun dynamic while it lasts of our main character ostensibly trying to set a guy up with, oh, hey, come on, my brother, he really likes you. And her having to repeatedly tell him, oh, come on, no, he sucks. Scar, he seems like an okay guy, but he really sucks, whereas you're awesome. I can't necessarily recall the last time I saw a movie do the bit where you had the guy who was supposedly destined to be the king, the leader guy, who just doesn't have it, and another guy who doesn't want it and clearly had it. It's not quite the Aragorn-Boromir thing. They're not doing that. It's a different sort of angle, and it is sort of fun to see them basically set Scar up as the guy who almost sort of doesn't want it and eventually goes bad just because everyone repeatedly keeps looking at him going, oh, this guy sucks. Dude, no, you suck. You really suck. Even the girl has to come up to him no, he sucks. This other guy is just clearly swinging so much more dick. This other, no, Scar, you suck. Come on, get out. You almost can see why he makes the most sudden turn ever into, oh, okay, I'm just going to be Jeremy Irons now. I'm just going to be Jeremy Irons. I'm even going to start doing the voice. The only thing that had to work for this to go from being an okay movie to an actual good one would be for the villain turn for Scar to work, and it doesn't work at all. Fortunately, they have Mads Mikkelsen as the evil lion, the evil white lion, who is a one-note, I'm bad because I say I'm bad and I've decided to be bad villain, but it's Mads Mikkelsen, so he's fun. So this is not a good movie, but it's an okay one. It's decent. You get lions. You get forgettable songs, but decent animation and scenery. So I'm not going to say that this is good, but if you got kids who like Lion King movies, you're probably going to see it anyway. And it's not the worst time. And since it's original and not a less good remake of an actual good movie, it's probably better than the remake of The Lion King just by default. So call it a 6 out of 10. I've seen worse. But for the money that Disney spends on these fucking things, they should probably try harder than this. But I'm not going to say it's terrible. I have seen worse, and I expect to see worse in the future.